Okay, third grade, this is Moose and Magpie, lesson 2. If you would like to hear this story in its entirety, you can go to Myon in your Clever icon and search Moose and Magpie. For today, we will only be focusing on pages 9 through 14. Our reading job today is to describe characters in a story, their traits, motivations, or feelings, and explain how their actions contribute to the sequence of events. So, describe means if you describe a character, you say what they are like. Traits. A trait is a particular characteristic, quality, or tendency that a character has. Motivations. A character's motivation for doing something is what causes the character to want to do it. Actions. A character's actions are what they do and say. Contribute. If we ask how the character's actions contribute to the sequence of events, we are asking how do the character's actions cause what happens next in the story. And sequence. The sequence of events are a number of events that happen one after another. And today's reading strategy is wondering about a character's motives, then ask yourself, but why? Understanding motivations, why it is that the character does what he or she does, helps you understand more about the kind of person he or she is. When talking about the character, don't stop at just saying what she or he does or says or thinks. Try to add on your thoughts about why she or he does, says, or thinks that. Sometimes the why comes earlier in the story. Other times you need to read on, and still other times you have to infer it. One day, Magpie found Moose by the river to tell him a new joke. Do moose use hair mousse? Moose spit water out of his mouth. I don't even use a brush. Magpie settled on Moose's antlers for an easy ride through the water. You are right. Moose have 2 sets of hair, and they would get too poofy. The layer of hair closest to Moose's skin is like thermal underwear. The outer layer is hollow and acts as an insulation against the cold. The hollow outer layer of hair helps the moose float while it swims. So first I need to think, what does the character do? And on this page, Magpie finds Moose to tell him a new joke. So now I need to think about to myself, but why does she do this? And I think it's because she seems like a jokester. I say that because early in the text, she tells a joke and she's always giggling and laughing. As summer turned to fall, leaves flittered down from the trees. Magpie spent her days building a bigger nest. Moose rested under the trees. Magpie fluttered down in the evenings to look for bugs on Moose. Why doesn't the tooth fairy visit a moose? Moose had never seen a fairy, only lightning bugs. I never answer your riddles correctly, but this time I know. Moose don't have pillows, so there is no place for the tooth fairy to look. Moose shook his head to make Magpie fly away. She began to sing a tune. The moose went over the mountain, the moose went over the mountain, the moose went over the mountain because it's time to go. You're right. I'll feel better if I walk toward the mountains. Moose migrate to mate. What is Moose's motivation for going towards the mountains? Think to yourself. Magpie followed him. How do you catch a unique moose? Moose finally thought up an answer. You sneak up on him, he said. Moose perked up his ears. Be quiet, Magpie. I hear hunters. Magpie whispered, how do you catch a tame moose? Moose snorted and stamped his hooves at the bird. Be quiet. Magpie snickered. Tame way. The hunters thought they heard other humans, so they packed up and went somewhere else to hunt. The hunters left the area because of Magpie. Some magpies can imitate human voices. What does Moose do on this page? Why does he do it? Tell me. After reading the text, answer the questions below in a notebook. 1. Where did Moose go in the fall and why? 2. How do the illustrations contribute to our understanding of the characters on each page? 3. Why did the hunters think they heard other human voices?